guys, so it's been a while since I've done a video on something I saw in the news, but this one caught my attention not because of what it is at surface level, but because of what I immediately got a chill through me thinking of the implications of what this might mean in the bigger picture, that this might be a sign indicative of. So, from Vice.com, although there are other websites that have articles about this, but this one I feel like had more info. PS5 could get a toxic player detection system ran by AI after Sony files a bad actor patent. See, that sounds fine on surface level. Could we see a future where PS5 and PS6 users have their behavior tracked by AI? A Sony patent to stop toxic players makes it seem possible. That should worry you already in and of itself, that they're letting AI be the judge of that, because there's a lot of nuance to a lot of things, but let's continue. Sony may be gearing up to implement a toxic player detection system in PlayStation 5. According to a patent file, the publisher is looking to crack down on bad actors in their games. The dystopian feature would use AI machine learning to analyze whether a user is being bad while playing on PS5 or other consoles. PS5 may get AI system that detects toxic behavior. Although it was originally filed last year, which, I mean, that doesn't mean shit. I mean, the game, the console wars and everything, all of these companies file many patents every single year that they don't even necessarily ever use, so this might not even come to anything. But if it does, I worry for where this might head. But anyway. Although it was originally filed last year, the bad actor system patent was recently made public on May 22nd. In its description, the detection system seeks to analyze a player's behavior over time to determine whether they are toxic or not. According to the patent, the feature would rely heavily on machine learning to gather data on a user to determine whether their account gets flagged. As far as what is deemed bad actor behavior, the patent goes into pretty detailed descriptions. One of the examples is a user quitting a multiplayer game early. A bad actor may quit an instance of the game during a round in order to seek another instance. This behavior may also be similar to so-called rage quitting. Apparently playing a game too much without using... Okay, before we go into the next bit, I could see this very unfairly impacting people who don't have the most stable of internet connections. I have been that person before, so I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck for a lot of people, I can tell already, that won't even necessarily have done anything bad by their own volition, but just because of circumstances being what they are. I hope they have a better system than just, oh, they kept getting disconnected, oh darn, I guess we're just gonna have to ban them. It's like, yeah, that's fucked, but anyway. Okay. Apparently, playing a game too much without using chat features may also trigger their system. A bad actor may be identified if they have a lower ratio of play to chat than is normal within the game. Again, a machine learning model may be used to correlate chat density during gameplay in order to identify typical levels. Stop right there. Of all the games you might play that have a chat feature in them, I bet you a lot of them you probably, if you are a gamer, you might not ever utilize. Not even once. Just because it's like one more thing to fucking do. All I want to do is play the game. I'm really not here to be social. I just want to play my fucking game. And now you're going to be penalized for that? Not to mention, there's a whole host of things I can think of, like, oh, if we're talking voice chat versus text chat, being female on those things, there's lots of times that many of us do not want to speak, open our mouth, not even once, because the minute that you make it known you're female on there, you open yourself up to pretty much any and every negative kind of comment that you could possibly fucking imagine. If you've not been a female in the gaming space with voice chat, I don't recommend it. It's bleak. I'll put it that way. Anyway, so I mean, there's that. Social anxiety is a thing. Like, not to mention, Laziness is a thing. Not to mention, sometimes it's just mechanics of the hardware you're on. Like, not necessarily everybody has a keyboard hooked up to their stuff, so you're trying to do this on a freaking controller. Like, yeah, no, nobody wants to be typing that way, and like I said, there's a bunch of reasons I can think of just like that, of why somebody wouldn't be chatting the normal amount in a game, but okay, go off. I mean, I also find it ironic that, I mean, they might be getting targeted and harassed by people in the game who actually are, in fact, bad actors, and they're staying quiet so as not to become more of a target, yet they end up penalized by this? Make it make sense. Make it make sense, Sony. Strangely, the patent also says that sending a friend request too early on PS5 may also make you a bad actor. A bad actor may send friend requests, including private chat outside of a game context after relatively few interactions in-game. In all fairness, I can kind of understand this when trolls will often spam chat messages to people they don't know, for example, but it's just the way the patent reads this is a little bit eerie. Yeah, no shit. I'm like, really? What happens to bad actors? So, what exactly happens if you're a bad actor on your PS5? The patent doesn't go into depth in this regard, however, it does explain a bad actor may result in different responses or mitigating actions, which sounds vaguely ominous. I recommend you read the full patent here because it goes into greater detail. Okay, they do have a link. Again, find the article on vice.com and then search for that link. Although I warn you, it's pretty wordy stuff. Sony goes to exhaustive lengths to explain how they would track the toxic behaviors of players. It should also be pointed out that the bad actor patent has not been confirmed for PS5 consoles. It could be something they are working on for PSN in general, or the future of PS6. It's also not uncommon for companies to patent ideas without ever actually releasing them. Still, this shows that Sony has thought heavily about moderating toxic behavior on their devices, and based on the bad actor patent, we could see a future where AI is used to start moderating player behavior. This could be potentially beneficial if it's actually accurate, but then, on the other hand, also terrifying if users get falsely lumped in with other bad actors. So, just on its surface level, I already rattled off a bunch of reasons that I see this as being bad news. But a much larger one, I want you to think bigger. Does this whole arrangement sound vaguely familiar of something, or not so vaguely familiar of something? Because I know what it's making me think of. A certain country who has a social credit score thing. China has social credit scores for all of its citizens. If you've never heard of it before, please Google it because I'm not here to give a full rundown on that, but it is very much real. I have an aunt who is natively from China. She can attest. It is very real. She lived it. Oh my god, what I see this potentially doing is being some type of testing ground, almost, in a way, to see how Americans might react to there being such a thing as a social credit score. If they react favorably to it in such a small sandbox as, say, just like PS5 consoles and shit, they might find reason to want to implement it in a larger scale thing. I could see this being a slippery slope real damn quick, snowballing into social credit score for America the same way China has one. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong, because I don't think you can at this point in time. There's too many things that we were told aren't gonna happen that seem to be very much in the works actually happening right now, so I don't know. All I know is my blood ran cold seeing this one, because I was like, oh hell no. Oh hell no. I immediately thought of that slippery slope. I was like, and I'm not hearing anybody else mention that, so I don't know if maybe it hasn't dawned on anyone else yet. That's why I bring it up. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm completely out of left field on this one, but it scares me to death. I don't like it. I don't think you should like it either. I would fight this at every turn, or anything else that tries to implement that kind of a system, because honestly, I don't see any real good coming of it. Again, yes, that's not to say there aren't true bad actors on there, and yes, there does need to be a way to police them, but there's gotta be a better way than this. This is not it.